Greetings and blessings, my people, on this Friday. And as you can tell by the title, Sex Trafficking, Modern Day Slavery, as we speak. And so I am doing this in regards to what I would say to be an example of a beautiful black sister, woman, if you will, Sarah Bartman. And a lot of you probably don't know who she is. You probably didn't see pictures. But I'm going to break down how right now, as we speak, we're living in sex trafficking and modern day slavery. And I'm just about to jump into it. Sarah Bartman was one of the first black women known to, sorry about that. They always cut me off, but I'm doing all the editing and, so I have to do the voiceovers and all of that. So sorry about that. Now, Sarah, which I stated that we're going to call her Venus, she was one of the first black women known to the subjugated to human sex trafficking. Okay. And again, her body was examined and exposed as if she was some type of freak show. Okay. She was born in 1789 at the Gamatus River, now known as the Eastern Cape of South Africa. And her family members was, a part of the Kaiahoi clan. And she grew up on a farm. She had, her and her family. And she most likely worked as a servant. Her mom, she died at a very early age. I think she was like 2 years old. And then her dad later on died when she was a teenager. So we're just going to skip it to her teenage years. She was, to me, I guess this older, man. I guess he was some type of, colonist or something like that. After she was sold into slavery to a trader named Peter Willem Caesar. Okay. So he took her to a place called Cape Town. And she became a domestic slave to his brother. Okay, so what they did then is because she had this enormous, behind, they started taking her on shows because of it. And so she became like this attraction to people, whatever. She's not the first lady that had this, enormous behind. But they used her and her body and, and everything. And because, I guess, back then, they didn't know how to read, you know what I'm saying? So how could they, sign some type of contract or whatever, And how did they even know how to sign their names? So she got into a contract, and it was false, and, it was some type of sense of, enslavement. So they took her to a circus November the 24th, 1810. And as I stated, because of her, body structure, they began to be fascinated with this woman. And I could just imagine back then, people that are different and shaped different, then this is, an attraction to them. And oh, wow, she has the biggest behind known to man at that time. Okay. Which was, it's crazy how, she died December the 29th of 1815. So I guess she had to be around the age of like 26 years old. And do y'all not know that they just put that lady to rest in 2002, which is crazy. It's real crazy. But compared to the things that I've been like discovering, is that her traits, she liked to smoke a cigar, she liked to get her drink on, so she had to have something to stimulate her mind from the treatment that they gave. They raped this lady repeatedly. It is said that she died from a venereal disease caused by all of these men that she had to sleep with. I think it was over like 1,000 men that she had to sleep with, which is crazy to me. Which brings me to the modern day slavery and the sex trafficking that's happening all over the country in 2019 going into 2020. And these people are exploiting, and the beautiful ones, the, people, the women, and not just women, men too. Men are not exempt. But the weak-minded and the homeless, and runaways and beautiful people, they kidnapped you. You got these Uber drivers now. You could be walking down the street and they snatch you up. I even heard something yesterday. My girl, Kiana Lachey, much love to her. She's a young woman up and coming in her consciousness. She even told me, well, no, it wasn't her story. I'm sorry. Another girl that I heard that was talking about, it was some type of cult going around that they was talking about, do you know women are gods? And trying to lure these girls into this abandoned building. And I guess that's where they kidnapped them at. It is not safe out here by a long shot. It is not. It's crazy out here, and it's so scary out here. And us as women, we have no protection whatsoever. None. It's like we living in a day and time where if you don't have a husband, if you don't have, the uncles, the brothers, the male cousins, or anybody that's protecting you as a woman, you could be subject to this type of thing. Could you imagine your daughter, your mother, your sister, your auntie being kidnapped, tortured, raped repeatedly, sodomized, beat constantly, sold to have to sleep with man after man after man? Some of them even making them sleep with animals, making a mockery of their bodies, their temples. That is so heinous, and that is so sick. And I could not even imagine, and I feel for some of these women, including myself. I've had experiences where people took advantage of the situation or whatever by my own people. And I carried that for so long. That's the mentality that you can never recover from, because it could continue to play even if you do get captured, or you get to safety or whatever. That stuff is going to be forever embedded in you, the things and the injustices that has happened. And so in my conclusion, to people, our people, and just people in general, when you even go to think, damn, I'm down on my luck